Hi guys, Rene here and welcome to the workshop. With today's time trial over, my road race season is over as well, and next Saturday I'll be doing my first cross race this season. And I've already shown you my bike setup, more or less, and you may know about the MVCX tubulars that I'm going to use as my primary wheel set. But the thing is, it's been unusually dry lately and it's going to remain that way for the next 2 weeks, which is very nice indeed. But the thing is, I wasn't really planning to set up a cross wheel set or a set of rubber for dry courses, but I was forced to. So I decided to give the new Terreno Dry a go. So this is a tubeless clincher on my MV SES 4.5 wheel set. Yeah, there it is, 33mm of course. And yeah, it has a fancy 4 component rubber compound, graphene, and a very unique thread design to it. So this is not your regular file thread. Yeah, so this is a tubeless wheel set and tire combo, as I've mentioned. I've yet to dial the perfect pressure for cross. As you can see, the bike is already dusty from a little bit of mixed terrain and gravel riding. That was the first, basically the first outing for this tire. And I started off with 40 psi as my baseline pressure. I know that's a whole lot for cross, but I hit some rocky, gravelly sections. So I thought I'd need that a little bit more of a protection of a higher pressure, but the tire is extremely hard at 40 psi, so I kept going down gradually until I ended up with something like 22, 23 in the front, 26 in the rear, and that's still too much for cross, but it was good for general all-round use. For cross it will be maybe like 20 and 22. And the good thing is that even at those low pressures, the tire doesn't seem to roll or be overly squirmy while soaking up the big hits quite nicely. I managed to bottom it out as well, but the whole construction seems also, well, quite a bit sturdier than those super thin tires that you usually get, so managed to survive that with no issues. And regarding speed and grip, it definitely rolls very fast on this center section, where actually the clever bit is, and it's not hugely grippy, of course, having this shallow of a profile, but it's surprisingly good under braking. That's the main thing I've noticed. It's very grippy under braking, unlike other low profile tires. And it hooks up in corners well in those dusty, slippery conditions and the grassy fields, etc. This shoulder block set has a very kind of a predictable slide to it, so you definitely know how far you can push. So overall, I think that's a very important feature. Although, while this wheel set is 25mm internal, it comes up at a very wide 35mm, so that's a hair or 2 hairs actually over the UCI limit. So that's a thing I don't like about clinchers for cross, because you don't know what width you're going to get eventually. And the other thing is that it's very square if you look at it this way, so it takes a bit of getting used to when leaning into corners, but yeah, in the end it was very predictable, so no complaints there. As for the tubeless setup, so it popped on the first try, sealed perfectly, and no pressure losses ever since, so that's a very good sign. The MVs also have a hookless bead design like mountain bike rims, so really should be sturdy enough for those low cross pressures. Yeah, so this will be probably my option for the first race of the season. Luckily for some reason the Hungarian Cup, the National Cup or Series or whatever you may call it, is not UCI sanctioned. So yeah, should be alright. Maybe at lower pressures it will go down to something like 33 point something. And yeah, that's how this star rolls so far. And actually it's quite good for gravelly adventures as well, as it turned out. Vittoria already have the Terreno Zero, which has these fish scale knobs on the sides, not these regular ones, and a slick center. I think for proper gravel use that's not going to be enough, or maybe that one at the rear and this one in the front would be good for very dry terrain. And the reason actually why this tire grips so well on the braking and still rolls fast is the way these kind of fish scale hexagons are designed. So as you can see, they are ramped. I'm not sure it's very visible on the camera, but they have a slight angle to them. So if you're just rolling along, you get a very shallow ramp section. But as long as you start applying forces like braking, then you're actually trying to elevate these fish scales from the tire at a steeper angle, at basically a right angle here, like a regular knob would be. And it still sounds like a gimmick, but it works. So overall, I'm very happy with this tire. If you want to know more about my cross bike setup, or perhaps some of my other bikes, then don't forget to tune into the channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.